Welcome to Cryptocurrency, a podcast by smart women smushing everything crypto and blockchain into busy mom lives, ensuring the where, how, and what we're learning so you don't have to waste your precious time asking questions. Anything discussed in the podcast is not financial advice, and as with everything parenting, do your own research.
Good morning. Hi. Hello. This is Jen and Hannah doing today's Cryptocurrency podcast. And today we're going to talk about FOMO. So Hannah, what is FOMO?
Good morning or afternoon or whatever it is where you
I know.
are. I know.
It's right really now. Not even morning here. That just sounded good. Yeah.
FOMO. I think everybody's felt it at some point. It's an acronym for fear of missing out. So you can feel FOMO with anything, basically. Like all your friends are out having a good time and you're watching Snapchat or Instagram stories or whatever, and you're like, I need to be there right now. Like I am definitely having some serious FOMO. In the Web3 cryptocurrency world, FOMO is the same feeling, but when you see something that you are interested in, like say you read up about a certain coin or project, and that coin or project starts increasing in price, but you never bought it, and you see that price increasing and you FOMO into the project, and the price could continue to increase, or it could very likely decrease, because that seems to be what happens to me when I FOMO into a project. Yeah, so by definition, FOMO isn't necessarily a good feeling. It's not a calculated investment strategy.
No, FOMO is, I think, the worst feeling I get, where all my rules like go right out the window, where I'm like, oh, okay, I had a plan, and I've done it so many times where I'm like, okay, I have a strategy. I've looked at all these projects. I've dismissed a project. Like that's, I think, where FOMO happens for me, is when I have dismissed a project. I'm like, no, I looked at it. I evaluated it. I thought about it. I looked at it with all the things that I go into a project, and man, I've FOMO'd hard on some stuff, and I've chased it and lost money. Like
I feel
so
that
many
sure.
times, like dozens. I have dozens of projects that I've FOMO'd into, and it's never worked for me, like ever, because I come in late, I do my homework, and I'm like, okay, that's not a good fit for me. For a myriad of reasons. Like I'm either heavily on, like I already have too many meme coins. Like I can't have any more meme coins, like, or whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm like, damn it, if I'd have bought that stupid Sheeb back when everybody was calling it the Doge killer, and I was like, no, Doge is the hill I will die on, and there is no thing. And I'm like, so a million, so I'd have $1 million if I'd have bought it.
I mean, the amount of times, if I actually got even a minimum return on the amount of times that I've FOMO'd into something, I would definitely have my mortgage paid by now. Like
if I even got my original investment back on the times I have FOMO'd into things.
Like if you just never would have done it to begin with, you would have been better off.
I would be ahead of the game.
Well, I think that's the point. Like don't do it. Don't. Sometimes it turns out really well for people. Sometimes people have success stories, they see it and they're just like, somehow they get in on they see it going up and they somehow get in like way down here and it just keeps going, and then they have the right mind to sell at the top before it crashes back down because it's a meme coin, and that's probably what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
And they do well. But I mean, let's be realistic. FOMO in general, not a great investment strategy, not the best, but
ever. Yeah.
It is like I feel like it's a rite of passage So like if it happens to you, like welcome to the club. You have invested in a shitty coin or project or rug pull or something along those lines, thinking it
Right.
was gonna make you rich.
Yes, that's how you learn how to hodl, is you
Yeah.
have to go through FOMO.
Yes,
Um,
it's true.
I have a great I have a great little meme that maybe we'll have to put on our socials that's like, oh, I'm gonna try like trading and da da da, and like it's this little guy just being beat up by FOMO. And
It's so hard. It's
then
so
he's
hard.
like goes back in his little hole, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh, look at me, like I think I know what I'm doing. I've got this. I've been around the block 17 times. I've made some money. Look at me. Maybe I just missed this one. Okay, surely this isn't FOMO. No, it's FOMO. Yep, totally.
It's like when like when you go to Target and you go in for like I don't know, like milk or something, like you're like, I'm going in and I'm going and that's it. And you go into Target and then it's just like, oh, I need some leggings and look at these shoes and the kids need diapers. And then before you know it, you spent $250 and you're like, how did that happen? And that's it's like that. Like you just like you're like investing in these coins because you're looking at or projects you're looking at them, you're like, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. I'm gonna get rich. And then it doesn't usually work out for you. So I certainly hope it did or does in the future if that is, but you gotta have that conviction. Sometimes it works for people. Most of the time it doesn't. FOMO is not a good thing.
No. And if you're choosing in and you're like, okay, I'm purposefully going to FOMO into this one. Okay. Then you're like, all right, this is my FOMO for the month.
This is going to happen.
I totally had that Target conversation yesterday about Costco. I think Costco's entire business model is built on FOMO. Like I saved 83 cents on blueberries and it cost me $712, but look at this cool rug I have and lamp and 42 other things. No,
so it's so true. So
that's
true.
That's crypto in a nutshell. So
yes.
So don't FOMO unless it works for you. And then
I want to hear. Okay, so let's have a little story time.
Okay.
I could tell a FOMO story of mine first. And then you can I'm assuming you have a FOMO story because you seem
100%.
like okay
100%.
You seem like you're familiar with this topic. So
a little bit.
Okay.
We have to keep it to one. That'll be my challenge is I have to pick one. Okay. I'll pick one story. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you have a couple good ones, like if we can like, we can't tell every FOMO story that we have because we would be here for hours. But
that's why I'm such a good waddler.
Yeah. So when I very first got into crypto, I was on. Do you know what Stock Twits is? Have you heard of Stock Twits?
Tell me. No.
It's okay. So Stock Twits is like an app you can get for your phone, and it's for stocks. It was originally just for stocks, and it's kind of like social media. And each stock has its own. Each ticker has its own like page, and people can post on it. And it's got like the running chart. So like when something starts like going, like it starts to be a trending stock on Stock Twits. So they have a ticker at the top with all the trending stock. Sometimes they're good trending and sometimes they're bad. So anywho, they have crypto on there too. So it's like really active sometimes. Like I have to stay off of there recently because it's just
man. Yeah. I'm like, I'm having PTSD about how bad this would be for me.
Yes. So if you like, it is the recipe for FOMO. Like if and the people on Stock Twits are like, I'm not saying they're all like this, but like people that are like commenting on these pages are like bottom of the barrel type, whatever.
Right.
But anywho, yeah, I bought a ton of shit coins just off of watching stock
Mhm.
twits, because you see them go up, because crypto has such a high um like it's so volatile that when there's increases in prices, it goes up. Like a coin can go up by like 50% in price in like a couple hours, whereas a stock doesn't normally do anything like that. Sometimes more than 100%, like it just, and you think you're gonna get in on it, and then you do, and then you don't. So, goodness, what was it? It was at the very beginning. I didn't even have like an exchange, like I didn't even have an account on an exchange yet. Like I didn't even know what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted to invest in crypto, and it was really bad. And I FOMO'd into a bunch of like meme coins, because this was back in like early 2021,
Nice.
when everything was just kind of like
Mhm.
spiking, right after Bitcoin had gone. I think it was like Raven coin or something like that. And like,
Ooh, yeah, I still have my Raven coin wallet.
yeah, like if Raven coin is your thing, that's cool, like, um, but like whatever. I see I don't even remember what it was, because I bought it at like the top, because I FOMO'd into it, because I saw that it had increased so much in
Mhm.
price.
Mhm.
And I don't even know. I don't even remember. Maybe my brain just blocked it out because it was so traumatic for me. But yeah, I bought some, and then it tanked, and then like every first time investor, I got scared and sold it. So I just literally just threw money into the wind for no reason. Um which was really, really sad, because we didn't really have the money to do that. But I think, again, when you FOMO into a project like that, especially when you're new, and I feel like it happens a lot when you're new, like it's, like I said, a rite of passage. um that it's just, I don't know, it's just something, it's something you got to go through. It's something you got to get out of your system. You got to FOMO into a project, and then you got to sell it at the lowest price possible, instead of holding on to it, because it costs you nothing to hold on to it. Like literally just hold on to it until it increases in price again, and then let go.
Right, because at that point you're totally the bag holder.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think it is a rite of passage. Again, not do your own research, not investment advice. Please, if you can avoid FOMO and being a bag holder, that would be great.
Yep.
I oh man, I have so many. Like I'm trying to think through like which story makes me look least like an idiot. I'm like,
I
okay,
want the one that makes you look most like an idiot.
okay, all right. So that's got to be my KuCoin experience. So, um, oh man, I have a buddy who's a brilliant trader, and like he is like a mathematical whiz genius, um, very studious and smart, and probably has never FOMOed into anything ever. So when he says, hey, you should look at this thing and what they're doing, I'm like, okay, great. But what I don't think about is like the fact that he's coming at it with like all of this knowledge. And I'm just like, la la la, lerping into stuff. And so he was like, look at this exchange, which was KuCoin. And I get onto KuCoin and they have all these trading bots. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the perfect solution for me, because I have never used, like, I'm not a trader. The couple times, I mean, and this was recent. Like, this is why it makes me look like such an idiot, because this was like seriously within the last year and a half. And so I knew better. I knew better. I knew better. But I was like, okay, but this is great. I'll learn how to trade. I'll use this cute little trading bot. I'm gonna just hop in there. And so and this was after my success with Doge. So, obviously I'm supremely intelligent in my own universe, I think. And I see this bot that is currently at like trading at like 9,000%. And so I look at it, I read it, I think I understand how it is. I'm like, no, look, like I'm going to put $50 in here. It's going to do all the things, all the trades are already there. I'm going to turn this $50 into, 5,000, couple of days. It'll be great. This will be great. This will be great. Look at what's happened. So I fill my wallet with not $50 because I'm like, well, if 50 is good, like, let's do more. It makes the first buy of like some shit coin. I don't even know what this shit coin is, but it makes the first trade and it buys like $500 worth. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it's trading every like 32 seconds. And it's trading like just these little pips, right? And so it's just doing these little tiny baby trades over and over and over again. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to set it and forget it because it's a trading bot. What's the worst that could possibly happen? So I go back in, like I get busy, right? Because moms, kids, all the things. I go back in like 3 days later. And I apparently had made that first purchase at the top. So this trading bot is trying to recover the whole time for days. And I now own so much of this shit coin. It is like astronomical. And at this point, I have lost all of my money. And I'm like, okay, but this was great because I FOMO'd in, and this was really after like all of the meme coins had done all of the things. And I was like, no, this is great because now this is strategic. Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. And so, no, I lost all my money. I still have the little trading bot. It's still just going.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Is still you
Yeah.
still own that shit coin?
Yeah. Because like you said, like, well,
Yeah.
if I sell it now,
Yeah.
there's no chance of recovering any of that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just hold it. And it's seriously like like I don't even know what it is. Like it started with a P. I don't even know what it does. I don't even know what the project is because I didn't bother to do any research. I looked at the return and was like, there's a trading bot and that return, what do I need to know? Like, this is great. So
Those bots are tricky though. Like, I mean, they do what they're supposed to. I've used a bot too before it. And when you started the story, I was like, I know what she's gonna say.
yeah, it was
They're
so
great
bad.
if they're used correctly. Like you can like they can be
Oh,
successful.
I think people who are smart, not that we're not smart, but yeah, it was, I did zero research. I did
Yeah.
zero research on the project, the bot, who had built the bot, when they started the bot. Like I was coming in at the top after the
Yeah.
bot had made all of its stuff. And I totally FOMO'd into that.
So you FOMO'd into
And
something that was like you thought you were going to get a 9,000% return on
yeah,
$50, and then you were like, well, if I put in 50, I'll put in 5,000, and then they were
yeah,
like, yeah,
yes,
and then you were like, bye bye to
yeah,
your
yeah,
$50 or your 5,000 or your
yeah,
5,000,000,
yeah,
however many you put in.
right. I lost all of it.
Well,
So
at least you didn't lose it because you still have the
sure, I still have
coin.
it.
I mean,
Yes.
the coin could go to zero. I mean, or it could have another spike and you could make your money back. I sold all mine, so I have no chance of recovering any of that. So
Yeah, I think I hold like 900 billion of those coins or something now. So I'm like,
that's
all
good.
I need is a penny. That's
Yeah,
all I need. I'm like,
not even
come on,
not even a penny, man.
right? I just got to drop like 7 zeros and we are there. Yeah.
Oh man. So, moral of the story, I think we both just explained FOMO pretty well.
Yes. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Even at Target. Maybe don't do it at Target, Costco, or crypto. Just
Yeah,
as a rule. Yeah.
it's true. Yeah. So, um in summary, we both hope that our messages have reached your ears and that you do not make the same mistakes that we did by FOMOing into projects. But we know that you will, because
you're in good company. If you FOMO in, don't feel bad, because almost everyone, if not everyone, has that story. Yes,
it's true. It's true. So if you FOMOed into a project, welcome to the clan. If you haven't yet, we'll welcome you later.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Jen and Hannah embarrassing themselves on the internet.
Yes.
We'll talk later. Bye.
See ya. That wraps up our conversation for today. If you have any suggestions or questions regarding this episode or any others, please let us know on social media. Thanks for finding the time to visit with us, and we hope to chat with you again soon here at Cryptocurrency.